you eat fast food in a very slow way, that's not fast food.
I think you're interpreting it wrong.
Hello, welcome to Chew on This, a food talk show with Malaysia's top culinary talent, exploring the many influences our palate has on our personality through food, drink, and banter. I'm Tian, and I'll be your host into this world of good eats and gastronomy. On today's episode, I'm happy to welcome some awesome people that have always made my trips down to Penang all the more memorable. Kim Hock of one Michelin-starred Au Jardin, Un Poco Loco, and Shokudo Niban, and Johnson Wong of Gun and Communal Table. I'm super grateful to get this chance to hang out with these people. Well, mainly because they're really fun to talk to, and the jokes they crack are always quite diverse. They always make me laugh. So first we have Kim Hock, an accomplished chef with many admirable titles. Chef of the Year by Tatler, Chef-patron of one of the first Michelin restaurants in Penang and the country, and most recently minted as an esteemed Krug Champagne ambassador, which is an elite list of only 120 chefs around the world. Incredible feats and accolades, Kim Hock. Have these accomplishments ticked off any lifelong dreams for you?
Yes, it does. To a certain extent, I think it helped us to also promote the fine dining scene in Penang as a whole. That's the reason why, whenever we try to do collaborations, it's the Penang duo. Because the thing is, our thought is, if there's anything, you want to grow the industry as a whole. And and hence the reason why we're doing this, it's that, yeah.
Great. So, Kim Hock, tell us a little bit about your restaurants in Penang and what's been new with you.
So, Au Jardin has been 6 years now. So, we have gone through the pandemic, and luckily, we have pocketed our Michelin star for the second consecutive years. And we haven't lost it yet, luckily. But very much, we just recently restarted a canteen of ours called the Shokudo Niban. So what Shokudo Niban is, it's very much a cooperative business where, whoever that works in Au Jardin kind of co-own the business. It's something that we did for the staffs. So everyone kind of have a fair share of that. And the recent ones that I'm working on is the relocation of a brand of ours. It's actually a plant-based bistro. Which is due to happen in the next 2 months.
Exciting. Why plant-based though?
Like whoever that knows me or knows our cuisine, we are always very, very plant or vegetable forward. Even in Au Jardin, especially when we design a menu, it's always revolving around vegetables or whatever ingredients that we get from our farmers. So protein is always secondary to us. I think there's a lot more to explore when it comes to vegetables. And yeah, I love cooking with vegetables. My father, he's a very, very strict vegan. He doesn't take dairies and eggs and stuff like that. The reason why I jumped on this project a couple of years ago was I have never gotten a chance to cook for my dad.
Thanks for sharing. Our next guest is Johnson, a Le Cordon Bleu Sydney graduate, chef founder of Gun and Communal Table in Penang, and recipient of the 2024 Michelin Guide Young Chef Award. At Gun, Johnson and his team gives careful thought to Malaysia's rich assortment of quality ingredients, fusing that with memories, cultures, and experience he's amassed. Johnson, we've hung out a few times, and as I get to know you better, I've also come to appreciate your deadpan sense of humor very much. Despite your restaurant being in Penang, fun fact, Johnson is actually not a Penangite and he's actually from JB. Can you let those tuning in, give them a brief intro to what's going on with Gun and Communal Table in Penang, Johnson?
We are doing fine. I think we are doing better.
What's new on the horizons for the rest of the year?
For 2024, I would say we are more for consolidating for everything here and there. Our team, every pieces of the brand of a company, just try to put everything in line.
See, so like refinement?
Yeah. We might have some movement happen, but not anytime soon because everything is still on plan, Yeah.
All right. Thanks for sharing. And I just want to say thank you guys for actually taking the time to come down to KL and hang out with me for an episode, I'm incredibly moved that you guys would actually do this. Thank you very much.
Anytime for you too.
Thank you. I'm not sure if you two know, but how I came to know you guys is actually quite similar, even though it started differently. After the pandemic died down in 2022, and domestic travel became more feasible, I actually specifically chose to visit Penang to try gun because my last time I went to Penang at that point of time was like 2017, and I didn't get a chance to try gun. When did gun start again, Johnson? Correct me if I'm wrong.
2018.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So it was still not existing before I was there, right? So I traveled to Gun I traveled to Penang to have Gun to dine at Gun.
23rd of January 2018.
Wow, super. Okay, so definitely not. Yeah, and then obviously the classic foods on the island, right? You got to eat the Hokkien mee, the char kway teow. You miss that. So actually, in the same year, in the third quarter, I went back to Penang to try Au Jardin. So that was a big year for me. I got to try Gun and Au Jardin, but I didn't meet Kim Hock at the time.
We met.
Really?
You were seated by the bar.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know who you were, and
Went holiday.
no. I don't travel as much back then. Travel too much now. Maybe a little bit too much.
Yeah,
But yeah. I remember you were seated by the bar. Only after you left, because the thing is, I remember seeing you on social media, like Instagram, in particular, and I always know who Chewable is, but I've never met you in person, so it doesn't resonate, right? But
I understand.
But after that, I realized that it was you that evening, because the thing is, from the angle that you posted and stuff like that, then I think we met in one event in KL.
Probably one of the food events, right?
Yes.
Like a dining guy, something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember, but yes, and that was when I told you, hey, look, I remember seeing you, but
I remember.
Yeah.
So it was actually late of last year when I went to Penang again, and we were actually, three of us were hanging out in a shop in Penang, coffee shop in Penang. I can't remember the coffee shop. One of your regular
Home.
Yes, that's right. When I brought up the idea of having you guys on my podcast, and when I asked you guys to come on board, I remember Kim Hock was like, "Oh yeah, there's so many things to try and so many snacks to try," and we're talking about iconic like childhood snacks, remember? And that's where how the theme of today's episode came about, food nostalgia. As you can see, there's like tons of snacks nice. I think we enjoyed as a kid, right? I mean, right. So today's episode is really much about food nostalgia, which I think is a powerful sensation that can occur when we think fondly of food that we used to enjoy back as a child. It's a powerful mix of taste and memory that can actually give us kind of biasness towards flavors, smells, and appearances of food, right?
Yes.
What do you guys think of food nostalgia? You think it's real? Does it affect you?
I like McDonald's.
McDonald's?
Yeah, and like this kind of stuff.
When you have McDonald's, does it kind of like evoke that sense of like familiarity and like, the flavors you used to enjoy as a kid?
Things are changing, Like nuggets are not the same. We change. Everything is changed.
That's right. Our taste buds change. It evolves, right? How about you, Kim Hock? What do you think about food nostalgia?
Yeah, that's a connection when you can relate. For instance, like one of the commonly seen component in our dish in Au Jardin is you'll see espuma that's made of Pringles, right? So one of the reason being is because I think everyone's not alienated to Pringles, as in they're quite familiar to, especially sour cream flavor.
That's
right?
my favorite.
Yes, like everyone knows that flavor profile. So sometimes we
I asked him to do
slip
pizza
in.
flavor. He refused to.
Yes, well I said
Too strong, is it? Too strong the flavor?
No, because the thing is, if I'm gonna use the junk food, it has to be done well, known by people, right. But if I were to use something like Pringles pizza flavor,
right,
I honestly, like even myself, I don't know what a Pringles pizza flavor tastes like.
Right, it's not the most recognizable flavor.
Yes. So I think in that sense, we try to slip in here and there, elements of that. And try to resonate to your past experience or to invoke the memories of you snacking while you grow up. I think even in fine dining establishment, there should be space for fun also. We try to, as much as possible, be fun and be techy. So I think, that's the reason why we do that.
Pringles espuma.
Have
you tried it, Johnson?
Many times.
Did it really taste like Pringles?
Yes, but I think it needs to be a bit more Ajinomoto hint.
Okay. Maybe at Gun you can do the Pringles pizza as well as like a collab inspired by All right. Okay. So We've got a lot of Malaysian childhood snacks for us today. Well, and the point of this is to really to enjoy it while we chat today. Before I jump into the topics, yeah. So by no means I think this is an exhaustive list of Malaysian childhood snacks, but I think it's a pretty good mix of classic choices.
Yes.
Before we tear into the snacks and get into the topics, I just want to ask you guys: do you normally snack? Is this a habit you guys have, or you don't really?
I remember snacking when I was in high school, but not as a kid, because my dad used to bring me to a lot of places that actually does real food.
Okay.
Because of the nature of his work, he's in the medical field.
I see.
So he's cautious in what we put in our mouth. You know, when you're in high school, you're more liberal. You know, you have friends that kind of, affect you in some certain ways.
And you want to be rebellious.
Yes. I think the snacking culture starts after that. Like the choice that I brought in today, you can see, it's rather boring.
I wouldn't say call it boring. Explain a little bit, maybe.
So that biscuit produced in Penang, and typically, it's a flaky biscuit that's filled with caramel that's flavored with shallot oil and pork lard. Back then. Now,
this one is
because people are more cautious of health.
Pork-free version.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now it's fresh pork oil.
Okay. So among all these actually many snacks, Johnson has actually requested for Mummy Monster, specifically barbecue flavor. Any reasons as to why you chose this, Johnson?
I mean, for me, the snack means the other way around for me, When I was young, parents always try any way to stop me, and I always try many ways to eat them. And when I get older now, my body stopped me to eating them. I don't eat that much now, but I used to eat. And when I eat Mummy, I don't eat 1, 2 pack. I have to eat 10.
Oh, wow.
When I eat
Nice.
Pringles, I have to finish the whole things, Yeah, that's next snack for me.
I see.
It's not the small bites. It can be like a full meal.
I see.
That snack used to mean for me. So the barbecue is only the nice thing for Mummy.
The other flavors not good.
The Ajinomoto him is 100%, and it's just so nice. And a lot of people they just eat the noodle without the seasoning. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense at all.
Right.
Yeah. What's the point?
I think it's part of the charm of Mummy.
What's the point?
Yeah.
Seasoning, right?
Now they're coming out with this spicy flavor, all those kind of nonsense. I just don't get it as well. The barbecue is the only nice thing.
Right.
Yeah.
That also explains the flavor that you resonates, right? So for me, when I take Mummy, I'll go for chicken flavor.
I see. Is it because that was the flavor you had as a kid?
No, because the thing is that is the only flavor that's available back then. For me.
What's it?
So we grew up in kampong, small kampongs. We move around. And, they won't have a whole range for you to choose. Right? And back then, the OG flavor is chicken. Chicken powder.
Yeah.
Chicken flavor.
Can't go wrong with chicken. It's the most safest flavor.
Yes.
Yeah.
For instance, if we were to have twisties, it's always either the cheese or the green colored
Which is chicken.
Chicken flavor
It's
also.
roasted chicken, yeah.
Right? So it's something that you can resonate best.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
He doesn't like other flavors. I don't like barbecue flavor.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm the same as Johnson, actually. I grew up eating all sorts of junk when I was a kid. But because of health and, you're growing up, I don't eat as much as I, would want to. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. Okay, so first up, we'll talk a little bit about your professional careers. Yeah. So I want to know what inspired you guys to pursue a career in cooking. Was it a light bulb moment for you guys one day, or was it something that you had to reflect when you were a young adult and deciding what you want to do with your life?
I never intended to be a chef or cook. My intention was to become an architect.
Oh.
But I changed my decision just a month before the intake because I just had met, and that was the only reason why I changed my path. That's it.
Really?
Yeah. I think I talked to many medias and written in many articles. So no beautiful story for me. I don't have grandmother cooking or whatever. Because I watched my mother's to cook, and I love cooking so much. I don't have that kind of experience. I don't have that kind of memories. I can't fake it. Just throughout the study, and I felt this is something I probably good at, and I can continue as a career. That's why I'm still at it.
Yeah, I mean, luckily you chose this path. You've been, recognition, and
I feel good. At least now, I still feel good to be in this field, I think that's most important, right? If you do something, you have to feel good about it. Otherwise, what's the point?
That's right. You have to have that positive.
You can change to anything, anytime. Yeah.
How about you, Kim? How do you decide? Actually, I've never heard your story.
I always like cooking. So I'm the youngest of the siblings.
Okay.
Being the youngest, you always got dragged into the kitchen. At some point, when I was in high school, I remember my mom was making me nasi lemak every morning so that I can bring to school and sell it to my mates. So I think I started entrepreneurship at a fairly young age,
I was
right?
going to say so.
And also, what comes with it is also helping my mom with those chores so that I get the extra pocket money. I think in that sense, she encouraged me, but never in cooking, right? And how I came about this field was I'm a people person. I like to talk. I like to be in the hospitality industry. So after I didn't finish my Form 6. Halfway through, I left school for some reason. And I went to Penang. Because at that point, my father was still based in Sungai Petani.
I see.
Yes, he works for the government hospital. So then I work in a hotel. And it was one of these light bulb incident where, it kind of made me think a little bit deeper and more. So I was a guest relation officer, right? I was doing the front desk job.
Okay.
And within
Imagine. You're imagining Kim Hock as a front.
Yes.
No, but it wasn't look like that. You look at his
Putting a jacket and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so smart, You look at his old photo like 20 years back. It's so smart.
Yes, different. I think I look smart still, but I like to think that
In a different way.
Yes.
When I see you in your chef's whites, very smart.
Yes. I don't like to hide. So what happened was after 6 months in that role, I got promoted to a supervisory position.
Okay.
And that was when I was sidelined. Rather being proud, that kept me thinking. Because the thing is, whoever that taught me, when I first joined the company, is now my subordinates. Then that explains how replaceable this job is.
How many years were you doing the job?
I was only 6 months into that job. Very, very new. But I got my first promotion. But that also kept me thinking about it. And eventually I said, look, I want to be still in the hospitality field. But I don't like the feeling of being easily replaceable.
I see.
Hence, in the hotel, you only have a couple of positions that does that,
Right.
And one of them is culinary. And that is what made me pursue my career in the kitchen.
I see.
But having said that, my educations are always in hospitality management.
I see.
Because the thing is, I don't know if I can persevere and do it for the next 10 years. And culinary arts is such a narrow path where, if eventually you don't like cooking, you're just wasting time doing that paper.
That's true.
So hence the reason why it's hospitality management for education, but as a career is culinary arts.
I see.
And I'm glad that I did that.
Yeah, so am I.
Yes.
I mean, so you both kind of arrive at that situation kind of different, but you're still here. You're still you're glad that you're stuck to the path.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask you guys. I'm sure as a chef, as an owner of a restaurant, it's not easy. We all know restaurant business is tough. So many restaurants close and don't stand the test of time. What keeps you guys motivated during the challenging times?
People behind you. I mean, for me, it's always the people behind you, and you don't want people to see you as a loser. You don't want to be defeated. So that's why you want to prove yourself. If you have a chance, we still want to stand.
That's a great answer. Yeah. Of course, confidence in yourself, proving yourself, right?
See, this is a very good example. It's not as good as before.
Do you think it's not the food nostalgia kind of playing up?
No, you can look at that from the color. It's lighter. It's not as strong as before, really.
How do you guys remember what it kind of tastes like? You only have a memory Is your memory of the taste that strong that you remember?
Yeah.
That's why you're a
I
chef.
mean, it's normal. When you are young, that's why if you say something to your kids, they will remember for life. You know, your memories get weaker and weaker when you age.
Yeah.
That's the kind of logic. Yeah.
I see. Kim Hock, how about you?
Thank you.
What keeps you motivated during challenging times?
During challenging times, we have a lot of mouth to feed. Luckily, we have a fairly strong team that stays intact for many, many years. We have people that work alongside me for the past 11, 12, 13 years now.
Wow.
Right. The newest addition is 1.5 years, but that is only 5% of our whole entire team. Right. So more than 85% of our comrades. Yeah, well, because we fight together.
That's
we
right.
work together, right?
Penang
Everyone
Tiger.
has the same
Penang
mission.
Tiger.
Penang Tiger.
So we have a lot of mouth to feed. I think it's my responsibility to make sure that their well-being is taken care of. So during challenging time, look, I think the recent episode would be the COVID during the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
So we are very, very proud to say this, and we say this all the time. Of the 2 years of pandemic, we never implemented any pay cuts until the last 2 months, because the thing is, the last lockdown was a little bit too long, and it kind of shaken our financial a little bit
Because he
more.
won a lot of money from poker card.
I don't know if that's true, but
Oh, some insight you have, Johnson. Behind the scenes.
So he used that to do the
he's one of the contributor.
I lost a lot last week at Jakarta. Fuck.
hidden skills I'm finding out now on this show. Yeah.
You have to read between the lines. Right, so like I said, we just have too many mouths to look after, right?
Right.
And there's no space for error. I think I'll be held responsible if I don't look after their well-being.
I mean, it's a similar thing I hear from you guys. I mean, spoken like a true good leader. It's not just about yourself you're letting down. It's your team, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to ask, what was the road to being recognized by Michelin like for you too? I know it's a big moment and there are many, many moments, but maybe share some of the highlights that led up to that moment. Such a grand moment,
So for us, we miss Michelin by a little bit when we were based in Taipei. So when we were based in Taiwan, we were contacted by Robert Parker and Michelin for the first edition of Taiwanese Guide.
See.
I suppose back then, because it was very much a bistro, I don't think it's somewhere near the star. But the thing is, we at that point, we were about to finish our contract, and my son was very much born in Taiwan.
Oh.
And I don't think we want to continue staying in Taiwan for the well-being of our kids. We want to expose him to more languages. Kids pick up language naturally when they're kids, right? I think because of that limitation, we kind of decided, like me and my wife, we kind of agreed that we want to move back to Malaysia. And at that point, to be very honest, like we were so close during that time, right? Even the previous restaurants that I worked in, we were recognized by the Michelin. But that's the closest encounter for me personally as a restaurateur or as a chef. And then the second time, when we have decided to leave Taiwan, we have literally given up on all the accolades, because never would we thought that Michelin would cover a country like ours, Malaysia, specifically Penang. Because, if you were to look at how Michelin work outside the European countries, it's always the major cities.
Major city, yeah.
Right. So
Penang is major?
Yeah, well, but the thing is, back then it was very much just, the capital. Then, when it happened, when we were told that, Michelin is finally coming in, like, it excites everyone. Because the thing is, whoever that worked with me, they always knew that we are of that caliber. But there's nothing like that or a body to kind of recognize us, right? Back then, it was Tadler. We were very, very grateful that Tatler discovered us first. Like both us actually. That was before Michelin. Right? And that at that point, Tatler Dining was one of the biggest thing for Tatler, for a dining magazine.
This is pre-COVID, right?
Yes, that was pre-COVID. So when we found out about Michelin coming into Malaysia, we were told the inspections were all over. At that point, we were not actually prepared. Even like we are not getting ourselves get for that accolades. Because the thing is, we were told that the inspections were all over. We were just waiting for the time for the announcement. So then we got the email.
Congratulations. Yes. Okay, we're on the topic of food nostalgia. I want to know what some of the foods you used to eat as a child that kind of brings back the memories for you when you eat as an adult now.
McDonald's, KFC, these are the things always in my heart.
Okay, when you go to McDonald's and KFC, what is your must order?
Fries and nugget. But the nugget is getting bad. I don't know why. I don't know how they execute it. I think something wrong with their central production. Yeah.
Recreate it in Gun. I'm sure it's better.
The fries is good, because like I don't eat fries like one piece by one piece. I can finish fries like in 10 seconds. I think that's the beauty of actually McDonald's. Eat burger in few bites. I think that's fast food.
Right.
That's really fast food. If you eat fast food in a very slow way, that's not fast food.
Right.
I think you're interpreting it wrong. It's delivered fast and then you get to choose
if you want it is slow or not. And it tastes good and tastes hot and tastes fresh when you're eating fast. That's for me. That's
okay. Kim Hock has a clearly different view on it.
Different interpretation of a fast food is.
Right. But I think I know McDonald's better. I think no one's known McDonald's better in this country.
All right, there you go, McDonald's ambassador here for you. Reach out to Johnson from Penang. He wants to be a national ambassador of McDonald's. Move over to Ronald McDonald.
I don't mind. Like Nicholas.
How about you, Kim? What do you eat that reminds you of your childhood?
I was brought up eating plain stuff like porridge.
Oh.
A bowl of white porridge with all the condiments. And I still do it now. I'm very privileged to have given the chance to dine in some of the best restaurants in the world. But porridge stays close to my heart. And in fact, I have this particular thing for kway chap. I have been telling people that, right? There's this, so because I told you my dad used to work in the government. And at some point, he was based in Sungai Petani, in Kedah, where they do kway chap style differently. And we grew up eating that, right? And until now, that style of kway chap, there used to be 2 stalls selling it. One uncle retired, so there's only one left. I actually mentioned about this place in the Michelin article about this place. And it's one of the meal where if it's going to be my last meal, I would hope for that to be my last meal.
So kway chap is your last meal?
Yes.
Let me add 2 points. Okay, so kway chap I think it's a very unique umami flavor for northern region. And in southern region, we have kway teow kia, which I think in central region you don't have, which is very similar to kway chap. In central region, KL, you guys don't have such a thing.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what is kway teow kia?
It's very similar to kway chap.
Okay, dark black broth.
But they just don't put everything in one bowl. They separate the dishes.
I see.
Like the broth with kway teow and with a lot of side dishes, egg, pork, all those kinds. But very similar. When you mix everything, it's very similar to kway chap. With central region, you don't have such a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we talk back about that flavor is very familiar to me, we always have things with soy sauce and chili in everything.
For Johorians?
No matter from main course, starter, dessert, I think that's for me. Beside McDonald's.
Soy sauce and chili.
Yeah, beside McDonald's. I mean like real chili. Not the kind of big chili or big green, big red chili. Like a small red tiny chili.
The one that was sting.
The small red chili.
Okay.
Small red chili.
Okay.
I think that only happened in Malaysia, I think that's very unique in Malaysia.
Yeah.
And we...
Not what?
We have that for all kind of food. No matter the appetizers or main dishes, it tastes very good, especially with chicken curry, potatoes. Like if you drop with this spicy soy sauce, it tastes very good.
You said spicy, so it's chili and soy sauce mixed together?
Yeah.
It's a Johorian thing?
No, it's my home. It's my house thing.
I see.
And I've used that for like post dinner for fruits, pineapple, whatever things.
Do you still eat that now?
According to some people told me this is Teochew culture. I'm not sure, but just like very personal to me. I taste. It feels very good for me. Soy sauce, chili for everything.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm sure your household has a lot of soy sauce and chili mixed already.
Not us.
In Penang, soy sauce tastes sweeter, so it's kind of different. You know, when I came to Penang 9 years ago, but it's nice. Penang soy sauce has probably the best quality around Malaysia. Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that. Yeah. Okay, so we're talking about like the differences in region, and I want to know that what is food nostalgia like to Penangites versus Johorians? It's probably different from KL as well. The things I crave when I'm looking for my memory taste of my childhood.
What would you go for?
KL style Hokkien Mee is a very that thick black soya sauce taste. It's very nostalgic for me. It reminds me of my childhood.
That's Taluk mean. That's not Hokkien Mee.
Huh? What does Taluk mean?
Let us not start the debate.
Okay.
I just speak for Penang nights.
I see.
Johor, we don't have Hokkien Mee. Only Singapore, KL, and Penang has Hokkien Mee.
Yes. No, look, for Penang, I think I speak for a lot of people. Kway Teow Teng.
Oh.
Right. I think it's my preference because I seek out for lighter food when I'm not cooking. Right.
I mean, but that it needs to be very good. I think that really good Kway Teow Teng which bring me,
Even though it's like
really comforting, very very nice. That those hidden spot, not on Google, not on Michelin, whatever.
I need to find out this place from you
Has to
guys.
be. Otherwise, if it's not good, it's just like flat noodle with water. Basically, that's Kway Teow Teng.
Watered down broth.
Yes, that's nonsense.
Well, it's probably the worst version of Kway Teow Teng you can describe, lah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What about foods that you loved as a child but no longer enjoy? Is there any?
I think if you talk about like the street food or the common food that I enjoy the most is mee hoon kueh, not banh mi, mee hoon kueh.
Okay.
And I used to have a lot of mee hoon kueh back to Johor, but I'm Hakka and tastes very very good. But recently I just back, a lot of places are not good anymore at all.
See.
And I found out the best mee hoon kueh now is in PJ.
Not Penang?
No, I'm sorry.
I
That's a store.
No, there was one that's relatively good.
There's a store also doing very very well, and not from Chinese, not from Malay, not from anyone. It's from foreigners.
Oh, non-Malaysian.
Yeah,
Surprising.
very, 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 very nice. But there's another one at also the same article we shared to Michelin.
Right.
At PJ, it's an office worker kind of lunch cafe called Panchala Hawker Store.
Okay.
There's this mee hoon kueh ham poo noodle inside is very very good. Yeah, they just suka open, suka close.
Wow.
You go there depending on your luck.
Wow.
They're very very nice. Yeah, the texture, the broth is just perfect.
I'm gonna put it on my list. But rewind a second to that mee hoon kueh you said in JB. I want to know what changed. Was it for you your taste buds change or the shop change?
Not possible. My taste bud change, and my taste bud never change.
Oh,
The noodle, basically the noodle and the broth change. As I say, it's the same. You go to China, you don't go Shenzhen to find good food, right? And JB is trying to be that scale because of next to Singapore.
So manufactured.
And yes, but you're still able to find good food in the neighborhood area or like living neighborhood.
I see.
But
So you're
not
saying
in the city anymore.
the commercial places have changed. The one that
they used to be not that commercial, but they because of the
The
whole
nature of business has changed.
change. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. How about you, Kim Hock?
No, I think whatever that I like as a kid,
You still
I still love them. Right.
example?
I
Have you visited them recently?
no, a lot of them were shut. Hence, it kind of is a immortal memory, right?
That's a good one. Keep your legacy and die.
Yeah.
Right.
Die a hero, right?
Keep your legacy and die. I'm not sure about that, but I still visit places that I go when I was 4 or 5 years old.
Same.
Right? And I still enjoy them. And a lot of them, because the thing is, it's very different to Johor, and it's very different to KL, where things are not so commercialized.
Yeah.
And there's a legacy or something that they are proud to kind of let their kids take over. And like a handful of them, like not a lot now, unfortunately, but you still see a handful of them doing that.
Okay.
So they pass on the recipe, the kids, the grandkids are currently taking after. Yes. So I think that's the beauty of it. Not that I can think of.
Okay.
For me, if there's one thing that I enjoyed as a kid and I don't enjoy it as much now, most probably McDonald's.
So opposite from Johnson.
No. He said the same thing.
The quality drop. I said the nuggets.
No, I don't think it was very much. Like, for me, my go-to, you know, when we were school kids, right? In McDonald's menu is either McEgg or beef burger or cheeseburger, right?
The classic is always a good.
But even McEggs in Malaysia is so different now as compared to when they first had it. You have, you know, sweet sauce, you have onions. I can remember vividly it was that flavor profile. I think one good thing about myself or my forte is remember flavor profiling.
As accurately as possible.
Fairly accurate. I can recreate.
Well, that's a trait you guys share. I mean, I guess it's a chef ability.
Well, but the thing is, the first few years I wasn't a chef, but I think in that sense I was given. Yes.
Well, maybe it's an inherent trait of chefs to recall that memory, that familiarity, that taste,
yes.
and recreate that. You know,
but even though, you know, like I when I being a chef and I travel for so many countries, like in Malaysia, McDonald's, KFC still tastes the best or among the best within all the countries.
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good sign.
I still think so. Yes, like even having said that, you know.
Do you think it's food nostalgia and your biasness towards your flavors as a childhood?
Maybe it's the flavor that we grew up with.
And also I think probably we know how to make fried chicken better.
Right.
Malaysians know how to make fried chicken better.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's something that is disputable, but yes.
Okay. One more question. Since we're talking about nostalgia and memories, I want you to kind of search your memories a little bit and kind of think about the first time you cooked a meal and you knew you were very proud of it. What was that moment for you guys?
So it was me when I was 6 years old. We live in the government quarters.
Okay.
And my brother, the second brother, he makes me a fried egg with soy sauce, like oil fried egg, not perfectly fried egg, but it's just fried egg. And before he takes the egg out from the pan, he drenched that with soy sauce. So the soy sauce kind of caramelized. And I remember recreating that after he finished cooking. That is my first attempt to cook. I've made shitty food over the years. Right, I remember another time when I was in primary 3, I was trying to recreate a burger from McDonald's, right? But I was confused between a lettuce and a celery. So instead of getting lettuce, I got shitloads of celery, and with the Ramly burger bun, Ramly burger, then mayonnaise, I topped that with a lot of celery. And I struggled with it. I remember I was sharing that with my mom.
Is it because you don't like celery?
No, it's just something that you don't enjoy.
You can't replace celery, lettuce with celery.
But I love celery. That sounds appetizing to me.
Lettuce is neutral. Lettuce is
Not when you're 6, 7 years old.
Yeah,
not when you're 8 years old.
I used to munch on raw celery as a kid.
What's wrong with you?
It's delicious. Okay. Johnson, what about you? You know, what was the first meal that you cooked like you're so proud of? You're like, I did it.
Actually, also egg.
Oh,
egg with Maggi seasoning.
Very specific.
Yes, egg with Maggi seasoning.
Do you remember what you enjoyed that egg with? Rice?
No, just egg with Maggi seasoning as a supper. Yeah, before that I have to study overnight for whatever exam tomorrow. That made me feel good.
Okay.
Yeah, I think is that. I realized I was pretty anal with cooking, even at a very, very young age. Right. Like instant noodle has to be cooked like one particular way.
I see.
And I like very, very hard noodle. And I don't settle for soft noodles. And even my wife, the one thing that my wife cooks me now, like she cannot cook obviously, and she doesn't need to cook, is a good bowl of instant noodle.
Yeah, that's what you need the most after works, you know. And but it's very hard
To make that bowl of noodles, or?
And the noodles I think is very important.
So even cooking instant...
1 minute has to be 1 minute. Yeah, right. And then boiling water has to be boiling water. Cannot be like simmer water. It really draw the difference.
You know, I always like my my instant noodle to be intact.
Right.
When you lift it out from the water, you can actually lift it out with a chopstick, and it still stay intact.
Yeah.
That's how I was.
Okay.
Right? And I am now still.
Okay.
Still that hasn't changed a bit.
I think you have to be chefs at this level.
Well, exactly. You know, on the other hand, when I look at how people cook noodle, I'll judge them.
Oh. Then I will not let you see how I cook instant noodles ever.
No, but it's a matter of preference, but I'll still judge.
But I like hard noodles too. So I don't know if this makes a difference, but I take it off before the intended time.
I told someone off in Hai Di Lao recently because you were there.
You told the Hai Di Lao staff off.
Yeah, he kept intruding and he kind of tell me, "You sure that's edible?"
Wow.
And I say, "Look, you know, like don't, right? It's fine." And the second time he came back, he said, "I think it's still raw." I said, "Don't worry about it." I said, "Don't worry about it." I didn't tell him off. I said, "You know, I know what I'm doing." Yeah.
I would have liked to seen this.
It was Sherry's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
It was Sherry's birthday.
I didn't realize that we were there together.
Yes, I told you.
Lao Xian birthday.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to see this instant noodle
Lovely.
with the Hai Di Lao stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Last topic. We're talking like I want to know a little bit about how you guys spend time with your family, and you guys are super hardworking. You have demanding careers, and this is more of a question on time management, really, because I and I'm sure many other people would like to know how you find the time to work for your many restaurants, do R&D, do international collabs, travel, still keep up with your kids and your family. How do you do it? You know.
Unfortunately, you know, as much as I like to spend more time with the family, we don't get that privilege. We work on special days, right? I think it's something that I'm missing. Like even having said that, you know, I try to find time, I try to spend with them. I actually miss out the time where we have fun together. Because on my days off, you know, you try to recuperate. You're so tired. You're on the bed all the time. They're at school now. So the time is a bit off. But as much as possible, we try to spend a holiday together or two. So until last year, you know, we do quite a bit of family trips together. There's a reason why, like everyone knows this, you know, if I do collaborations in any countries, I will try my best to bring everyone over.
Sweet.
You know, at least there's some family time.
Yeah, you're together.
But unfortunately, because my son Jonah is in primary school now, and we were warned we cannot miss school that often,
right?
And we can't know he's going to struggle also. So we are not doing that as often now.
I see.
But family meal is a big thing. I think the most time that I spend with my kids is on the dining table. I think also because of who I am and as a chef, I appreciate or I expect a certain level of table manners, and I'm glad that it kind of came naturally for my kids. They are very, very well behaved.
It's great. Yeah, we'll touch on that a little bit. I have a follow-up question, but Johnson, I want to know how you do the juggling. How do you?
I think everyone has a different formula with their kids or family, you know. I think for my son, he know his father is a chef. Have fun. You can have fun in any parts of the life. That's it. He can take care of himself.
What do you like to do with your son?
It's changing, you know. When he's small during the pandemic, he comes to kitchen all the time, wearing a t-shirt, you know. It looks so fun. Now he's attending to primary school next year. Again, we can't escape from school that often anymore.
And well said. Okay, so just like you're talking about eating out and family time, I want to know if you guys actually cook at home, or you're just too tired when you're cooking professionally, you don't want to cook at home anymore.
I don't. But having said that, I like to visit places that I am allowed to cook. Okay, so for instance, right, I'll go to hot pot places where I like meat to be done a certain way, or we'll go to barbecue places, right? And they like, and we will frequent the same shop over and over again because they kind of know that I don't like to be interrupted. As in, these guys knew me.
I see.
And they'll just leave us by ourselves.
Interesting answers.
So I don't cook at home.
But at least you can control the element of that when you're out dining.
Yes, you're right.
Okay.
Because it's not the cooking, is the cleaning up. And I don't like the whole house to be like, in a professional kitchen you have a good exhaust system where, the place still smells right after you cook. Whereas at home you don't, right? And if it smells, right? Regardless. So I just don't like that oily odor that harbored on the furnitures and stuff. I just don't like that.
Same here. Johnson, do you cook at home?
I'm not Darren too. I don't cook at home. Darren always say cook this and that during his day off. Wow, no,
Wow.
I appreciate, I appreciate.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not for you.
Not for me. And my son is kind of lame. He like Hai Di Lao, If you give him the choices between Hai Di Lao, McDonald's, and Taco Bell, sometimes he might choose Hai Di Lao. I don't know, for whatever reason. It's kind of lame, but so it's easier for me. But I don't cook at home.
Okay.
Yes, unless he really. I mean, in one day, he probably asked me, "Can you cook me for a meal?" I will do that. Of course. But I hope you don't do that, and I'm not at the moment. I don't feel good to do that now.
Okay. Thanks for sharing. Okay, last question. I want to know, when you were dating your now wives, then girlfriends, did you ever use your cooking skills to woo them?
Oh, yes.
How?
I remember cooking her chicken rice.
Oh, Hainanese chicken rice?
Yeah, kind of.
That was the dish that sealed the deal, or what?
Not exactly. So we were dating for almost 10 years before we tie our knots.
So your chicken rice is not so good. You need 10 years.
Yeah. I could have improved a lot more.
I use my pumpkin porridge 2 months later.
Sorry, what do you use?
Pumpkin porridge.
Pumpkin porridge.
That's a food what my son consumed when still a baby.
Wow.
2 months pumpkin porridge.
That was your winning dish.
Powder.
There's two ways to look at this, right? It's either the benchmark is the threshold is lower, or it's that. But I remember the first meal that I cooked for her was a chicken rice. It's very much I have the feel good factor. I don't know, like, she's relatively an easy person to feed as compared to myself. So yeah,
Chicken rice, pumpkin porridge.
Porridge, I think I kind of know how to cook porridge, but I don't really enjoy porridge much because I eat porridge when I was kids. I only eat porridge when I'm sick.
Yeah.
I think I know how to cook porridge. That's why I can use porridge to settle her in 2 months.
That's a new record, man. I need to learn how to cook now. Yeah. Johnson, for those who love to cook at home and who's inspired by your pumpkin porridge recipe,
Yes, of course.
Can you share what was the trick that made it so good, to make you seal the deal?
Prepare the pumpkin and cook with the porridge together, and the ikan bilis anchovy. Blend as powder as a replacement of salt, seasoning. That's it. I mean, you can, and I added some braised peanut, make it fancy. Close the deal.
So basically, 3 ingredients plus 1 optional ingredient.
Oh, some chopped chive. Chopped
chive.
Chopped chive.
Chive is not something they can get it commonly. As usually it's spring onion, so chopped chive, fancy enough.
Okay, thank you. Guys, pay attention. You want to, put a ring on it. Kim Hock, what's your secret to sealing the deal with your chicken rice recipe?
So we need to understand the ratio of the rice and the water. But what seasons or what flavored the rice itself is a good chicken fat. Another one is what's very, very important. It's chikor.
Leaf.
Chikor? No, not the leaf, but the ginger itself.
Okay.
It's the
type of ginger.
Stem. Yes, it's a type of ginger. In Cantonese, they call it sa kiong. In Malay, they call it chikor.
So chicken fat and chakor, that's your secret.
Chicken fat, chakor, and lemongrass.
Okay, last part. So this is like a standard tier list. S, A, B, C, D. S being the highest. Let me know where these snacks fall on this. Let's start with Kim Hock.
Right. I would still like my biscuit actually. Yeah, I'll put this as here. I don't think everyone appreciates this, but at least after having this, you don't feel bad. We had quite a bit of junk food just now. And the aftertaste that lingers in the mouth is not something that I actually like.
What else is S tier?
What else is S tier?
You can go to the next tier too. It's okay. I just want to ask what's top tier for you.
No.
Nothing else comes close, huh?
No.
Okay, what about the next one? You know, not so high, but still pretty good. A tier.
A tier?
Yeah.
It has to be mummy.
Okay, that's pretty high.
It has to be mummy, yes. Double decker?
Double decker, yeah.
I thought that'd be good. And then the rest, like if it's the old version of it, if it's the OG version of it, they would all have scored at least A or S.
Oh, really?
But Unfortunately, I'll rate the rest
C, D,
B.
B
or C, yes.
So middle of the ground.
Yes. Not that I have them all the time.
Johnson, what about you? What is the best? I mean, you devoured that.
Yeah.
Cottage rice. Is that S tier?
I think no. I think let's cut it short. I think only mummy. Because no matter it's a size or just don't feel happy. It's nice. That's something you can consume for 10, 20 packets.
I see.
Just whack the whole packet off.
I
didn't even taste one.
Yeah, I mean, throughout my 33 years, and I feel bored with certain things, But mummy is something you can spend time with your whole life.
Okay, so McDonald's and Mummy, reach out to Johnson. You got your national ambassador right here, Mummy and McDonald's. Okay, thanks so much, guys. And
Thank
on
you
that
very
note, we're going to bring this episode to an end. Thank you, Kim Hock and Johnson. Really appreciate the time.
Thank you.
I'm Tian, and thanks for tuning in to Chew on This, where I'll always be bringing you on the.